Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life on a hump of the week, Wednesday morning. It is 16 minutes past 8 a.m. Ayokunmi is right here with you. And of course, we're about to get into the locker room. So taking a walk into the locker room. And of course, it's sports all the way. We do that every Monday, Wednesday, and of course, Friday at 8:15 on Smooth 98.1. Welcome along to the ride. Tega is in with me as always to share the sports stories with me and of course banter all around. Tega, very good morning to you. Great to have you on.
Good one, I could have been celebrating 6 points.
Uh, we'll
Tega.
take four.
So,
We'll take four.
I don't know that I want to take first, especially when it could have been six. But we'll talk about that and what happened to the remaining 2 points, where it went, whether it went to the referee's pocket, you know, or it went to the NFF and Augustine Eguavon. We'll touch on all those stories when we get in there. We'll also talk about what's happening with um at the UEFA Nations League, with especially with Belgium. Remember Courtois not wanting to play for the team. We'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about it now. Kevin De Bruyne is angry. So we'll touch on that story. We'll also touch on the Nigerian teams. What has happened since they got their 7 medals? Remember, we had two world records, 2 gold medals, and 7 medals in total from the Paralympics. The question is,
Right.
where are they now? We'll touch all of those stories when Ayo tells us. Ayo, tell us, how can we be a part of the locker room this morning? In fact, let me separate your Ayo. Ayo Kumi, how can we be a part of the locker room this morning? Eh, eh.
Thank you for that one, Tega. Of course, you can be a part of the locker room. We love it when you come through and join us on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 440 981. 0809 440 981. The studio line is 0201 44 That's if we will open that, but just have it in your back pocket. You can also join us on YouTube where we're streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Those are the ways that you can be a part of the conversation this morning. And talking about the conversation, let me just clue you into what we'll be talking about. So, as Tega already talked about, the 2 points dropped in the AFCON qualifier, Rwanda holding Nigeria to a goalless draw in that game yesterday. F1 Formula One design great Newey joins Aston Martin, and ex-partner who killed Ugandan athletes dies from burns. That's a sad one that happened there. Odegaard set for scan on ankle injury. Arsenal fans are sweating buckets at this point in time. Kevin De Bruyne future in doubt after France defeat. Not surprised. Nathan Ake stretched off in Netherlands draw with Germany. Aston Villa defend Champions League ticket prices. They want to make a killing. Real Madrid's Rodrigo upset over Ballon d'Or shortlist omission. What's he looking for on the shortlist? Anyway, let's get back to the basics and begin from home. And let's talk about the AFCON 2025 qualifier, where Nigeria Super Eagles on Tuesday played out a goalless draw in their 2025 AFCON qualifying match against Rwanda off the back of a 3-0 win over Benin in Uyo. Tega, where are the 2 points?
Let's start the 2 points from the match itself. I would say this: the first of all, the Super Eagles. One of the first places we have to look for 2 points is the Super Eagles attack. Why are they not clinical? Because trust me, the stat says that the Rwandan goalkeeper made 10 saves. What I would say is he made 4 saves and 6 stops. Because some of the passes, some of the shots, even if they were on target, they were so tame that I would catch them too on my slowest days.
And
And
that's
and so
saying
my
something.
and you've seen me on my slowest days. You've seen me on my slowest days and my slowest times, which is the mornings. And so it is a question that I think the Super Eagles forwards have to start answering, because they did open up the Rwandan defense. They did get to um test the goalkeeper just a little bit, but instead of taking a powerful shot or maybe heading the ball either left or right, either side of the goalkeeper as opposed to directly at him, they took the wrong shots lastly. So I think the first one of the 2 points that were missing went to the Super Eagles attack not being clinical. That's where the first point went. The second point went to, I'm sure, the Egyptians referee's pocket, because there was no explanation for cancelling the goal that Nigeria scored. I thought it was a phantom foul at first until I had to go back and watch the video, and I realized that the referee indicated that somebody was offside. How are you offside from a throw-in? This basic rule, this is football rule 101. Ola Aina threw in the ball. The guy that headed the ball was the one that they claim was offside. How are you offside from the throw-in? He
They
headed the ball
claim.
to Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman put the ball in the back of the net. What was the referee thinking? Because at first I thought he assumed that there was a foul, but there was no foul. It looked like a phantom punch. But if you saw his hand when he cancelled the goal, it was an indication of offside, and he pointed to where the offside was, and it was the person that received the throw-in. So, referee, is it that you didn't go to the school complete, or I don't
Maybe went to
understand
night
what he
school.
said.
Went to night school,
I don't
perhaps.
I don't understand what he saw. So that second point was definitely in his pocket. But after all that drama, Super Eagles not scoring the goal that they needed to win the match, and the one that they scored being ruled off wrongly for offside. The next question now comes in: who is the coach of the Super Eagles? Because as it stands, Augustine Eguavoen has quit. He said his mandate that they gave him, the mandate he stands on. You understand? You have to stand on your mandate. The mandate he
That,
was given was 2 matches.
that's a very
And
short mandate.
now he has finished his 2 mandates. So he has quit. So I
So
think what
about
it is we're back to coachless now. Even the interim coach we don't have. So I think what the issue is, he wants a contract. Either you give me a contract, either you take a decision and give me a contract as a coach, or you go and find another coach. He wants, and I agree with him, you cannot be in limbo. You have to be sure. Am I in or am I
am
out?
I
All
out?
right. So on that note, let's take some phone calls from everybody. Augustine Eguavoen was in charge of 2 matches. Nigeria got 4 out of 6 points. Is it good enough to give him a contract, or should we look somewhere else? The numbers to call are
Yep, the number is 0201 4489981. 0201 4489981. WhatsApp is also available in case you can't get through on the studio line. The WhatsApp number remains 0809 440 981. 0809 440 981. Those are the ways you can be a part of the conversation. Let your thoughts be known. Do you think that Augustine Eguavoen has done enough to actually warrant a full-time contract, or we should keep it moving and find someone from
Let's
elsewhere?
go and look for another person. All right. So tell us your thoughts. 4 points out of the possible 6. 2 matches. Let's look at not just the results but also the performance, and tell me what your thoughts are. We're still waiting for those phone calls. Should we wait for the phone calls and take a message, or should we just move to the next story?
While we wait for those phone calls to come, we can take the next story, which talks about Formula One. Now, Adrian Newey says he has joined Aston Martin to help lead them to the Formula One World Championship. I mean, 65 years old. Can he do
Well,
it?
look. Okay, so Adrian Newey is the designer that left Red Bull, and then Red Bull fell apart. So nobody should try him. His age is of no consequence. He's not the one driving the car. He's just designing a fantastic model. As the phone call come
Tega,
in, let's take that phone call.
yes.
Let's take the phone
Yes, we
call.
should. We should. Hello, good morning. Very good morning
Hello.
to you. Please turn your radio off. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Emeka from Nigerian Road, Lagos Road.
Welcome, Emeka. I hope the road is treating you kindly this morning.
I've had, thank God, what we are like, we have so really not thank God.
Fantastic. Welcome. Talk to us.
So now, they should just, for me, I believe totally in Nigeria. Let them give this guy this contract. You know, we are crying of forest, we are crying of over dependence on dollar, we are crying of so many things, but yet we cannot encourage made in Nigeria products. Eguavoen is like a made in Nigeria product. Give him and pay him a naira, and then everybody will be sleeping. And then he knows how to go to develop the grassroots. Let him develop the grassroots. These are not magical. You cannot give what you don't have. You understand? And sometimes we see even foreign coaches when they come, the conditions are so much that you will not. In fact, the black race should just learn how to depend on themselves. Let us get out of this Western culture, Western new colonization in everything we do. Give Eguavon the contract. If he fail, well, he fail, you look for another Nigerian when the contract expires. You understand?
Emeka, I'm with you.
Yeah?
If he fail, let him fail. Give another Nigerian.
Look at what dollar is showing us in the Gaza now. You see that employ a foreign coach and still be paying him in dollar. It's just like Nigerian government saying, encouraging us to go for made in Nigeria. And then everybody is buying foreign sources, importing foreign coach. Black, Africa. Africa should wake up. We can be self-dependent.
All right, thank you, Emeka. Thank you. So that we can take other people's thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Emeka. I mean, Emeka says, hey, keep it in-house. Keep it within country. There's no need to do all that.
No need to go all out. All right. So thank you, Emeka, for your call. Should I continue with my answer and then?
Yeah, keep it going, Tega. Keep it going.
All right. So let's speak about it. So, like I said, Ayokunmi is a designer that left Red Bull, and Red Bull couldn't win a race since. And so things really fell apart because the center had left. And the truth of the matter is, I expected the likes of Ferrari and Mercedes to snap him up, but maybe the contention was too much, or maybe there's a non-compete, or maybe there's a non-compete clause in his agreement that will not make him to go to that. Because I was actually shocked when I saw that it was Aston Martin that signed him. I was like, that's a gold mine. How do you not sign him? He may not share secrets, but he can make your car to be the next constructors champion. But hey, what can I say? Aston Martin had the money. They showed him the money. He signed the contract and he's going to make it big. What that means is that Aston Martin may change the drivers in their car for maybe from 2 seasons now. And the question is, will the owner of Aston Martin fire his own son because his son is one of the drivers in the seat, or will he fire a former champion? Those are the questions that are making this story juicy.
Family meeting will be called, though.
Daddy, you want to fire me now because you have a better designer?
No. And it's also interesting, this particular story, because Niri also has become an Aston Martin shareholder. I guess as a part of this particular,
as a part of the deal. I said the money was too sweet. When I saw the amount of money, I was like, okay, maybe the likes of Mercedes and Ferrari would not have brought out all this money, which is why he went to Aston Martin. The deal was too juicy.
I mean, a 5-year contract worth up to a possible £30 million a year, including bonuses and add-ons. Hey.
No, I don't know. When they were telling me to study piano, I was doing anyhow. See my life now.
Piano KK and Nelcon Tega, don't take me back to PTSD days, please. No. I can't even. No, I can't even. But what I can
all right,
do
let's take a quick break.
A quick break right now. When we come back in, we'll move away from physics. Tega has awoken something in me I don't want to be awoken. We'll come back in and talk more about sports on the locker room. This is Smooth 98.1. Don't go anywhere. £30 million a year.
I'm telling you. I'm sure Ferrari I know for certain Mercedes didn't want to give him that account, that kind of money. I'm shocked Ferrari didn't offer him. Mercedes is very stingy. They will not break the bank like that for you. 5 years, 30 million. They will not try it. With add-ons. With add-ons. They don't like to give money like that. That's why Hamilton left.
They're not serious.
They don't like to give money like that. See now, they're going to employ a teenager just so that they won't spend money.
I mean, is what you pay for, you get at the end of the day now.
So they'll work it out with him. But I genuinely to Aston Martin. I can't wait. I wonder if they'll fire Alonso or Stroll, because they have to fire your own son. I mean, he bought a car so that he can do what he wants with his family. But when you make such an investment, it means you want to win. And his son, if you are being honest,
family meeting. They'll call everybody to family house. You sit at the panel.
The fastest driver out there. maybe you bribe his son and be like, you get to spend the money when we win. Something else to give.
That would be a difficult conversation to have, really.
So should we come back with messages?
Yeah, there's a couple on YouTube, and there's two right now on WhatsApp.
Okay, so let's take the couple on YouTube and then go back to more
And
stories.
go back so that they don't choke us
Yeah.
at the end. Welcome into the locker room. This is Smooth 98.1, your love music, love live station on a hump of the week, Wednesday morning, the Smooth Breakfast. Ayokunmi here with you. Alongside me is Tega, and we are deep into the locker room and taking a look at what's been going on in the world of sports. You can also join us on this journey by sharing your thoughts with us. WhatsApp is there for you. 0809 981. That's the WhatsApp number. You can send your messages there or give us a call as well. If you can't get through on the studio line, which remains 0201 4489981 0201 4489981. You can also drop a comment on YouTube because we're streaming live. Yes, we are at Smooth 981 FM Lagos, Smooth 981 FM Lagos. And I'll be taking some comments from there real quick. Padre Pio, or Pio, I always say that. It says 2 matches. What's the NFF thinking? It's too short to make a decision now, but I'm not surprised. This NFF will stain your white. Well, I think what Padre is saying is maybe the NFF told him to leave. That's not what happened. Well, is one that said my mandate is this and that is that. So, but we'll see what pans out. Big Mayor says even when there's no discussion about them, NFF just threw themselves into the mix. Should they be dragged like a tiger gem before they know how far? He further says Senegal are doing all right with the local coach. Can we not like borrow a cue from them? Nigeria, we hail thee. Lana says, guys, what's going on with your online stream? It's been down for over a week. There is work being done on that one, Lana's, and I will drop a link for you in the chats that you can actually use to get back on. Much apologies right there. Thank you for sharing your messages. All right, Tega, welcome back into the locker room.
All right. Let's see if we can, before you don't take any more messages yet, please. Let's just see if we can run through some of the stories and then we'll take messages. But
exactly what I
remember
was
that they
going
can,
to.
yeah.
I was going to talk about the sad story of the Ugandan athlete, and the update here is that the former boyfriend of Olympic athlete Rebecca Cheptegei, who killed her by setting her on fire, has himself died from burns sustained in the attack. That's according to an official in the Kenyan hospital. Now, Dixon Indiema ambushed the marathon runner as she returned home from church more than a week ago. He then doused her with petrol and set her ablaze. Sad one when that came out. And he
Yeah,
has also
very
passed on with
sad.
the burns.
Yeah, it was sad when I heard this because this is not the first athlete that this happened to in Kenya, and it's in recent times. The other time, I think she came back from the last one came back from World Championships and she was stabbed by the I don't know what to call it, husband, boyfriend, or her partner. Um, I think there are 3 or 4 of them. The same Kenya is beginning to look like a femicide, and this was came as a shock because she just participated at the just concluded Olympics in August,
Mm-hmm.
and get back only to get back home, coming back from church with her 2 children, and he set her ablaze. And I like the fact that you mentioned his name. Let's mention his name so we know the name of the monster. Dixon Diame, that's his name. And it was so sad that her picture was everywhere, but his picture wasn't everywhere, and his name isn't anywhere. And now they're telling us he's died. So he escaped justice. In whichever way you look at it, he escaped justice. But he's passed on. I think her funeral was supposed to happen later this week. But that information had to come out. He set her ablaze, but he also got injured from the fire that he set, and
Mm-hmm.
he's passed on. So sad news all round. Really sad news for the athlete that lost her life. Sad news for the fact that there's really no justice. At the end of the day, you cannot resurrect a body just to give it another sentence. But it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
But we hope her soul rests in peace. That's the most important thing, and that her children are well catered for.
Right.
Because I saw a video
Amen to that.
from her. I saw a video from her family that was not palatable. I mean, you just lost a daughter, and you're saying, no, you've lost money. I'm like, why would
Come
you do that?
on. Come
Why would
on.
that be the first thing that comes to your mind? All right. So let's see how it goes for her children.
Let's see how it goes. Let's also see how it goes for Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard. Yes, we're going to talk about football right now. He's set to undergo an MRI scan on an ankle injury picked up in Norway's Nations League win over Austria. That's according to the Norwegian team doctor who was speaking yesterday. Arsenal fans right now are sweating buckets. Tega.
No, Arsenal fans, your coach did something and somebody swore for him. Because I cannot understand that in 1 week you've lost Calafiori and you've lost Martin Odegaard just like that. No, nobody prompted you, just losing players to injuries, and on a weekend where you get to play in the North London derby against Tottenham Hotspur. So it's a crazy weekend. Arsenal fans need to look away, but it looked like a nasty injury. The way the ankle twisted and all of that, it doesn't look good for Arsenal. But again, this is why they were talking about when Arsenal was doing business in the transfer market. Did they do enough? And I didn't think that they did enough. Yes, I know that they tried to show up their defense, but they didn't do enough, especially when you talk of going forward or in the midfield, and that's where they really need the help. So I can't wait to see how Mikel Arteta lines up his team this weekend when they face not their North London rivals. But it's going to be it has to be a tough one. It has to be a tough one for Mikel Arteta.
It definitely has to be a tough one. I mean, not the game you'd want to get back into the groove after the international break, Tottenham. But hey, it's a North London derby. Anything could be thrown up. But you always want to go into those games with your best players available. That is one thing any coach would actually tell you. So let's see how it pans out for Arsenal. And hopefully it doesn't derail their season all that much. All right, let's talk more about the Nations League. And Kevin De Bruyne, he's in the news. Belgian captain. His future with the national side has been thrown into doubt after he slammed his teammates as not good enough after a 2-0 Nations League defeat to France. Tega, I saw this game, and there was a point close to the end where De Bruyne looked absolutely frustrated at his teammates, like making hand gestures, make a run now, make a run. And nobody was, he was just frustrated
You know what?
in that game.
At the end of the day, he was not even saying that it's even the way we are set up. So he was not just his teammates, he was indirectly making a pass at Tedesco. Now remember when Thibaut Courtois said he was not going to play under this particular coach, that he'd rather retire from international football. I thought that because he was such a good leader and he was not one of those people that like to cause quarrels, so there was real intent. I thought his teammates were going to have a conversation and stand behind him. They decided that no, they're going to go ahead and play for Tedesco regardless. Well, here we are. Everybody likes to stay in the corner until it actually affects them personally. And now it has affected Kevin De Bruyne personally. I would say this though, it's a tough pill to swallow when you are into the twilight of your career and you feel like the coach is messing up the end of your career for you. And that's what it feels like, I think, to Kevin De Bruyne. He was clearly frustrated. It wasn't like they couldn't have matched, the French goal for goal, or they couldn't have performed better. It was that he could see how everything fell apart for that team. So tough one for Kevin De Bruyne. But like I said, if you didn't stand with your teammates when he had his own problems with the coach, who's going to stand with you now?
Exactly. I mean, looking at that game, France, to be honest, were not, should I say, all that fantastic.
Yeah, the French
Belgium
team
being
are
poor
not that
made it easier
fantastic.
for them.
Yeah, the French are not that fantastic right now, especially with they're not. And this result is going to delude them into thinking that, that loss against Italy was an aberration. And Belgium came and made them feel good. Now Kevin De Bruyne is saying, I may not play for this team again with the way that this team is performing. Let's see how it turns out for Belgium. They always needed to infuse young blood because there was a generation that was leaving and a new generation had to come in. But I think they've been hurried out of the door by their dissatisfaction with the tactical plan or strategy of this new coach. So let's see how it pans out for Belgium. There may be a meeting, a very quick meeting before everybody returns to their side. So let's wait and find out, because there has to be fallout for this. When Thibaut Courtois is not playing on the team, and your latest captain is saying, "I don't think I'll play anymore," their football federation, will have to sit down and start take better decisions.
Most definitely. Still talking about the Nations League here. The Manchester City defender Nathan Ake was taken off on a stretcher during the Netherlands Nations League draw with Germany in Amsterdam. He was carried off on the stroke of halftime. I mean, injuries galore.
So again, when the Nations League was announced, this is one of the things I was talking about. There's another competition, too many competitions. You're putting money above players and all of that. But if they were not playing in the UEFA Nations League, because it's a FIFA break, they would definitely have been playing in a friendly. Now, if they're playing in a friendly, the intensity may not have been much. Friendly is friendly. The UEFA Nations League has other consequences, has some serious competition consequences. You could drop to the lower league, and you could lose points, all of that drama. And so maybe it makes it a little more competitive. But these days, players just picking up injuries because the competition is a lot. At this point in time, it's a struggle. When he was stretchered off, I was like, what manner of injury is this? But hey, such is what we sign up for when we have competition after competition and the same number of players participating in those competitions.
Most definitely. All right. Keep your messages coming in on 0809 444 0981. We'll take them as we get along. But we need to talk about Aston Villa, Tega. They want to build new stadium on the fans' heads. So, context. Villa have defended their Champions League ticket prices after a backlash from supporters and insist they must make these difficult decisions in order to stay competitive. I mean, they were charging up to £97 a ticket for home Champions League games this season.
I'm telling you. So I just want to say, it's one thing to qualify for the Champions League. It's another thing to watch it live. So when your club qualifies for the Champions League, before you celebrate, ask yourself, can I afford to watch my team live? Because look, Aston Villa didn't have all these Champions League problems before. They were playing in the Premier League, they played the FA Cup, they played the Carling Cup, they knew their prices. We didn't hear any noise from Aston Villa. They're qualified for Champions League now. And they've increased the prices of tickets, as they should. Think about it. Real Madrid is going to be playing against Aston Villa. Is it Real Madrid or Juventus or Bayern Munich? They have one of those big teams.
Bayern, Bologna, Juventus, and Celtic.
Bayern, Juventus are going to be playing against. Bayern, Juventus are going to be playing against against Aston Villa. So you can imagine a whole Bayern Munich coming to Aston Villa. Would they charge it £20? No. That's a money-making scheme for the great Bayern Munich to come to Aston Villa. It's money that they have to make. Juventus, it's money that they have to make. Bologna, maybe not so much, but there's still Leipzig coming. So, these are teams that Aston Villa fans have been watching on TV, have been following in the news. Now you're going to see those players live. You have to pay for it now. You have to pay for it. You can't go to an A-lister football match and pay a C-lister money. No. So sorry, Aston Villa fans. Yeah, those are the prices you pay for qualifying for Champions League. Or maybe your team shouldn't qualify for Champions League.
All right, let's take messages as we get ready to head out of the locker room. Let's see who's talking to us here. This one says, this is Chooks from Ikorodu, and says, he should first resign as the technical director of the NFF. We have been here before with Eguavon. He has not shown any improvement since his last assignment with the Super Eagles. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Victor Sheon says, the question is, if beating Benin and drawing Rwanda is enough to secure the job, the coach needs to be an European team to stand a good chance for the job and task ahead. Okay.
Wow.
Bobby from Kano says, it must be the African culture of courtesy. That match yesterday, it must have been made clear some way or the other for the referee, or he must have borrowed himself some serious sense to understand that it may not sit right with elders to have Rwanda lose in the first match in their new stadium in the presence of their president. No problem. It's a breath of fresh air after a very long time that the Super Eagles played well enough away from home and even have a good case to say dodgy officiating denied them a win. Thank you for that. Ifedayo from Papa says, Super Tega, Ayo is also here. Even if we employ Pep Guardiola, this Super Eagles players cannot impress Nigerians. Give them a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try it now. AY from Mineru says, with these increased competitions and multiple games for players to participate in, there'll be many more injuries. Just look at the number of ACL injuries across European football over the past 5 years. It's at an all-time high. Serious.
Yep.
Tayo says, Nigerian football isn't complete without Wahala. Our own 5 and 5.1, no space for doubt, all drama. I thought Eguavon denied saying he retired. Arsenal is used to still falling out from being a title challenger. I guess that's what you mean, Tayo. All these injuries will go around. It's like Chelsea had foresight with with over 100 signings. De Bruyne should join Courtois and retire. Both Chelsea and Aston Villa want to build stadiums. I think it's too much money and responsibility. Football business is real. Indeed, it is. Mohammed says Belgium just entered one chance with Tedesco, from frying pan to fire, from Martinez to Tedesco. How do you want to achieve anything with these guys? Portugal should have waited to hire Mourinho. Martinez and Tedesco are not ready for national team jobs. And on YouTube, who's talking to us here? Uchenna Mukoye says, we don't need a foreign coach. Aside Westerhoff and Bonfrey Joe, none has made much of a difference. Support our own. Players should equally do better. Lana says, Lana says, let me see here. Newey, the kingmaker, but who will be king? That is the $1 million question.
That is the $1 million question. Sorry, the 30 million pound question. All right. On that note, we want to thank you for streaming live on YouTube and sending your messages. We want to thank you for sending your messages via WhatsApp and for tuning into Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to the Locker Room. Till I come your way again on Friday. And this time we'll be talking club football, where your allegiances are hotter. All right. When we come back, we'll talk more about your team and hopefully there will not be fodder for banter.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, Tega. Thank you all for sending your messages in. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1, 9 o'clock Lagos. We'll get into Lagos Talks. We're going to get talking.